Hi, I am Anna M. Simon. Who am I? Some would call me a spiritual empowerment life coach for nearly 25 years. And how did I get started? It goes back, way back. Let's begin how I am and who I am. Well, who I am. I was a girl with a dream, born and raised in East LA. Yes, Los Angeles, California. I was a poor, daughter of an immigrant from Mexico. My father came from Mexico. My mom was, an American, a Latin American woman in East Los Angeles. And it's just me and my brother. And I always had this personality, and I always had these gifts, this intuitive ability that, you know what, this is not my life. My poor dad, he always worked hard. He was just a hardworking man, brought food. We lived in this little 500 square foot house behind my grandma's house. And he would always come home, work 12-hour shifts, and give us what he could give us. And I'm so appreciative. So one day, I'm looking, this is years after I'm becoming, more intuitive after 6 years old. Now going into 11 years old. At that time I started, because we live next to the biggest Jewish cemetery. It's like this, if you can visualize an LA, suburb type of environment. East Los Angeles, where the biggest Jewish cemetery is in our block. The wall's right here, and there's the biggest cemetery. And so a lot of people, folklore, as we call it, stories, and the kids playing around, would talk about hauntings and seeing things, supernatural stuff, right? Which it is what it is with that. We're kids, we have imaginations, whatever you want to call it, but belief and faith. I was born and raised Catholic. I was raised that way because obviously my dad is from Mexico descent, and my mom was raised Catholic with my grandmother and her parents. And so of course I went to church, catechism, I did all the spiritual things. We prayed, we went to Sunday Mass, and I learned everything that had to do with religion, spirituality. That was my base. That's what I knew. So come to find out, when I started to have these feelings like, there's more to life, I want to help people, and I started to have these dreams and visions and things like that, like you're going to help a lot of people. And I was like 11, it came up a couple of times in my teenagers, you're going to help a lot of people, and and I'm like, really? How? I'm here. I'm in LA. I'm this young girl with a dream, looking out the window, saying, this is not my life. This is not how I'm going to live. I cannot do anything. I appreciate that my dad put food on the table, but I knew there was more to life. I knew I had a mission, a vision. I knew that I could manifest whatever I wanted with God's trust and love and belief in Him. And although right now I am a spiritual person, I believe in one God. There is only one God. I am not religious. I don't have no prejudice to other religions. I respect everyone's beliefs. But my personal beliefs at this age, I'm spiritual, and I think God is one. We connect directly. But let's get back to my story. So growing up, I'm like, okay, now I'm becoming a teenager in this little house, and we just started talking. I started to feel and started to intuitively get like messages, and things started happening where I'm like, this is going to be more, there's something going on here. And I told my parents, I'm like, look, I'm seeing things, and I'm so, scared, because I'm a kid, seeing vibration, angels, things like that. And they're like, I think you just have a big and I'm like 11, 12, a big imagination at that age? No. No, I told my father, no. And I woke up one night, and I'm like, this angel came and told me, and I was just a sarcastic kid, and I wasn't being nice to my mom because I was like the oldest, and it was just me and my brother, and we had, imagine this, bunk beds, and our bedroom was in the hallway because it was 500 square feet. So they had the bedroom, and we had this hallway thing. And I woken up to this vision, or whatever you want to call it, a dream, imagination, but it wasn't. It was so real to me, and said, be good to your mother. And it was the Christ. It was the energy of that. And I kind of did a bad thing. I kind of told it off, and it turned into the horrific situation of a face. And I was running in place, And remember, it only takes a second to go into my parents' bedroom from the hallway. It took 30 minutes. Literally, it is a true factual story. And my mom prayed to Jesus, and she kind of saw it too. And I was surprised. I thought I was losing my head and stuff. And my mom saw it, and my dad goes, you just want to get in bed. You both are, losing your minds. Just go to sleep. And she started praying and praying. It went away. And from that day, I was a really good girl. And I prayed every day, and I started getting my balance, my faith, and I knew there was more to this world than what I was seeing. And it just, when I was a teenager, I was older, about 15, and I had a lot of trauma, because a lot of trauma activates gifts in a person, missions. And I didn't know why this was happening to me. I was in high school, and unfortunately, I was violated, and I kind of left school. It was embarrassing because I was a drill team. I was a popular kid, and nobody believed me because I was a woman and a young girl. And of course, it was the star college football player and the cheerleader's boyfriend. So I got shamed and put down, and I left. And I'm like, this is just not my life. This is just, I don't know why this has happened to me. And then I had a child out of wedlock. I was like 17 years old. My family was very supportive, and I'm like, okay, God, if I'm supposed to do all these things, how is this happening? And so I had faith. The thing is, I had faith. And I went to college for a couple of years, but I started at 17, I started saying I have to do something with my life for my child. And then I always heard these things, you know what, have faith, because you're going to make it. You're going to be successful, and things are going to happen for you. Just follow our lead, which is higher self, intuition, God, And so I did. And they said, you know what? Go talk to this person. And back then I didn't know it was called a mentor. And so this intuitive lady, I had a session with her when I was 18, and I had a daughter at that age, my first child. And definitely she told me, you're going to help the people, and you need to call this number, and I think you need to work for us, and this is what you're going to do. And so back then it was a cliche, because I started as a psychic. I did start it as readings and stuff. And so I got on the phone, and she told me what to do, and she told me how, and I did it. And fast forward, I have 4 children. They're adults. They're graduated from university, and one owns a business, and my kids are grown. I have 2 girls and 2 boys. But to say that, and this is the reason why, everything they told me happened, and I became a professional empowerment spiritual mentor for 25 years now, successful. Everything they told me when I was a little girl happened, and I never had to go and live in East LA. My kids never had to want for anything, because I learned to connect directly to God and manifested everything in my life with no education, just faith, trust, and action. And that's who I am today. But let's get to the most important why I do this and what's my missions and purposes. Now that my kids are grown, I want to help other people. And so my charity, which I want to start now on foundation, because my son, my oldest son, is afflicted. He's a disabled child, not of his choice. He's a young man now, 23 years old, because his father hurt him. And that's another story. But forgiveness, pulling forward, and all that. And so I feel that children get lost in the system sometimes, and they become adults, and they're needed the funds to continue living on their own, hiring people, and etc. and etc. So I want to do the non-profit foundation for disabled children that are adults and autism, because he has that too. And so those are my missions in life, to get this going. And what I'm going to do is, now that everyone's grown, putting all my energy into this and going to help other people. Now, how does manifesting, main key, because I teach manifestation all the time, how does it help? What does it do? How did it help me? Well, manifestation is of higher vibration. It is just connecting to the God source, as we say, the connection, and focusing on a subject, which I will bring. Subject what everybody loves is love. And love is taking action. Okay, you could ask God all you want about love, but the first thing is, if you, how can we say it? You got to be direct with God. You can't do the wishy-washy. Oh, no, I learned the hard way. Learn from my mistake. You have to do it directly, like this. Definitely, I want the perfect partner. or I want to heal my marriage, or whatever it is. Very direct, no wishy-washy, like, well, maybe I do want to get divorced. Maybe I don't. Maybe I want the soulmate. Maybe I don't. No. It's like a child and a parent. If you want to go, you're like, for instance, my kids came to me when they were younger. I want to go to Disneyland. I want to go to Disney World. I'm like, well, make up your mind and then I'll buy the tickets. You know what I mean? I'll give it to you once you make up your mind. It's the same thing. Be clear on your manifestation. Take action, meaning you asked to have love, well, work on yourself. Self-love, start healing yourself, working, go out. You're single, start going out there and let people come to you. If you don't take action, you don't get out of your house, how is the partner going to come to you? It ain't going to happen that way. So taking action is and releasing your desire. Releasing your desire is very important. Giving it to God, I say the universe, God, and stuff. And knowing that it's already happening in your existence. Now that's the key. Releasing and just giving it to God and saying, you know what? I'm clear with my action. I know what I want. It's happening, and that's the bottom line. I release you, and in perfect divine timing, it is happening. That's what you do. So releasing is a very easy step to do. And remember, write a plan. When I started this whole thing, I did a little notes and I did summaries and I wrote out my little pyramid and I put, well, top of this is my main thing that I want to do. How am I going to get that? Well, then I did the pyramid. I'm gonna, post every day. I'm going to start taking action. I'm going to talk to more clients about my goals and how to happen. I'm going to ask the universe to bring it to me, the right people, and their steps. So if you don't take an action summary plan, then how are you going to know to do it daily? So you got to have a summary. You have to have it in writing. Writing is very powerful. Speaking into existence is very powerful. But if you see an actual, like a vision board, a plan, daily, your subconscious will take it and you'll start to manifest it. What a concept, right? It's very easy. I get excited because people think it's so hard to manifest. It is not. Remember, I've been told by a lot of source, and the easiest things, the simplest things are the most powerful things. It doesn't have to be hard. If you make it hard, that's why the manifestation doesn't come as fast as it's supposed to come. If you make it simple, I promise you, it will come into your physical existence fast. So remember that. Give it to God and allow it to happen. Because if you believe and you have faith and take action, you'll have everything in your life that is right. And since I've been teaching this for 25 years, my life has been, yes, a lot of lessons, but a lot of happy times. My kids never wanted for anything, never were like me, a poor little girl looking out the window. Never, because I did all those steps. And it took me a while to know, since youthful to now, these are the steps. It was very easy. And I'm so grateful to be a part of this humanitarian mission to help everyone learn the simple keys just to help. It's a domino effect. If I could help you, you could, help somebody else and teach them the keys, and it starts to happen. So to heal the world, you got to awaken the people, and that is the truth. Remember that you could have anything you want as long as you believe in yourself, as long as you have faith, action, a plan. You can manifest everything in your life. Don't let no one ever tell you you can't, because I'm living proof that you could do anything you want on this physical plane. I'm Anna, and I'm Simon. Have a wonderful and blessed day.